think I'm good to go. Yeah, I want to assume I'm good to go, but I don't want to also assume I'm not good to go. Okay, yep, I'm good to go now. Cool. So, I'm actually, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. New Game Plus. So, New Game Plus basically is, I'm playing from an already completed file. And one thing I'm doing for a little treat for you guys is, I'll explain it once I get started here, but we're going to go ahead and give a countdown starting from 5. Time starts when I hit the first level, so I'm going to go ahead and give a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith was actually released before the movie came out. So there are going to be some things you were going to see that wasn't released in the movie. Part of that because of levels and stuff like that to actually make it a little bit more fun. And so one of the neat things about this run is I'm going to have to, you'll see right above my health, you will see my force bar, and I'm actually going to have to do a fair amount of, force conservation, so that way, I don't run out of force, because I use the force a lot to kill the regular enemies. And, so, this game was released before the movie, and it was actually rushed pretty hard. And because of the rushing of this movie, there are quite a bit of things that just didn't go right with this movie. One of those things is there are some typos in the subtitles. That's why I'm playing with the subtitles, and I should have explained this earlier. But because of the typos in the subtitles, I'm going to be doing this fun thing where I actually don't know how many subtitles there are, or how many typos there are in the subtitles. But if you guys can, if in chat, however many typos there are in the subtitles, if you point them out, I will donate that much money per typos. So definitely be watching for those typos in the subtitles, because that will give a lot of just help give a little bit more fun to the marathon. So right now R2 needs cover while he is opening this bridge, and it's a little bit of an auto scroller. All the droids spawn from this one fixed location, well, except for that guy. That guy decided to be a rebel, so we'll just pick him up and throw him down.
Nice work, R2.
They're actually always going to refer to R2 not as not with the numbers. They actually refer to it with the word. I don't know why, but that's just what they do. And I used force push there to kill some enemies, and now we're just going to show off a little bit kind of the poor coding of the game. I could just stand here and jump like this. I've been trying to see if there might be like a potential out of bounds clip, but I haven't quite found one there yet, unfortunately.
This debris is too heavy.
So we also learned that Obi-Wan can't lift spaceships. He doesn't understand that he didn't learn the lesson of size matters not as a Jedi, and that's why he failed.
Hurry, we still have a mission to complete.
So
See what you can do about those shields.
There's just this one cutscene that for some reason we can't skip until about the time that R2 gets shocked. And little swag front flip there. I don't actually know if that saves time, but it's a pretty swag strat in my opinion. But R2 gets zapped, and that's why we're down here to use this really big and bulky console, because that overrides the lockout on it, which just happens to be in a convenient location. And we're going to use one of our grapple attacks to kill these super battle droids instantaneously spawning. And normally you would use a force attack, but because using force jump uses force, shocker there, where we don't actually use that ability. We use the grapple ability to get the kill there. And then we're going to use the grapple ability again here to kill these guys quickly, spawning this jump pad. And now we've got about 2 minutes-ish of another auto-scroller of R2 trying to shut this shield down. And we're just going to be killing enemies for that time. So I do want to encourage a lot of donations for the good and bad ending. And also, I want to get some Bless RNGs in the chat because there's a lot of RNG in this run. And it's all it's mainly AI. Actually, no, it is all AI. And there are just, the AI a lot of times just doesn't like to cooperate. That being one instance, so. Plus, the Bless RNGs are going to come in really handy, especially because I worked about a 10.5-hour workday today. Didn't get off work till about 8 o'clock Eastern time, which then I showered and now I'm doing the run. So I'm really tired, so some Bless RNGs would come in really handy. And also,
we have a moment for donation.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you there. I got a $25 donation from Rack and I that says, thanks for everyone for making this marathon great as always. $25 to the bad ending. May the 4th be with you. So thank you very much. So right now, as you can tell, bad ending is in the league with $25. So if you want the good ending, definitely get those donations in. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that donation. So yeah, I'm not going to explain anything about the good and bad ending until we actually get to that point, just because well, not necessarily spoilers, but you'll kind of see when it happens. So if you want to see the bad ending, donate for it. So yeah, I guess I did forget to mention, May the 4th be with everybody. Really cool to be able to showcase this run at its first marathon ever, which these grapple droids are not being nice. Oh, wow, Anakin came in handy there. But, so grapple droids, they work very similar to super battle droids, only instead of, wow. Wow, that was actually decent RNG for where he threw me. But they work similar to super battle droids in where they have a lot more armor, but rather than being having a gun that they shoot with, they are primarily melee droids, and they will grapple you, and we don't want that to happen because that takes up time. So that guy tried to jump attack me, and we're just not gonna worry about him. Anakin will take care of him. And I'm going to be using Force Dash a couple of times. I'm not going to use it very heftily, though, in the run. My primary form of movement is going to be using just my regular jump attack. And the reason for that is that moves slightly faster than just running, but not quite as fast as Force Dash. So we're going to kill this guy here. Use the grapple there. See, the same grapple move, it's called a grapple, but I like to call it like swag flip or something, or maybe like the gymnast strike, just because of like, they strike such a, Anakin messed up my attack, but they strike such a beautiful pose when they do it.
Use the Force, Master.
And so, Anakin's gonna tell us to use the Force, because what else would a Jedi do?
Try your lightsaber.
I'm really hoping, I don't know if it's gonna show up, but I'm really hoping that in the run we can just get the random subtitle that shows just the square bracket, just in the middle of the subtitle for no reason at all.
The Force is strong here.
But one of the gems about this game, despite the fact that it was a rushed game in 2005 that came out before the movie was released, is they keep the original actors, which is super nice, and they also still attribute to, especially in these early levels, they attribute to just the snarkiness of the characters and the sarcasm, and you can still see just the wonderful friendship between Obi-Wan and Anakin throughout the run, which in my opinion makes it amazing. Like, just adds kind of that little bit of beauty because you can still see the character depth of the two characters and still see, like, just the relationship that they build. So here, I'm actually going to be doing my regular run versus front flipping up until now. And the reason for that is if I actually were to front flip, I would generate a lot of lag. And because we're speedrunners who like to go fast, we don't like to generate lag. And so now we're at the end of an explosive development. This level obviously was not shown in the movie. It actually was made in a deleted scene where the Jedi Shaak Ti gets stabbed in the back by General Grievous, and then in a way of escaping, Anakin and Obi-Wan cut through the floor to get to this area, and then they kind of like crawl through and then climb up and have this whole big spiel. But it still makes for a really good level. I really enjoy it. This one also too, explosive development can cause a lot of issues with like RNG and stuff. Also, one of the nice things too about this game is you see I'm alternating between playing as Anakin and Obi-Wan, and both characters have a lot of really good skill sets that can be optimized in the run. Each of them have their both different unique fighting styles. Anakin's is a lot more aggressive and works out really well for the primary boss fights. Whereas Obi-Wan's got a little bit more of a different fighting style, but it still works pretty well for the one boss that you fight with him, which is General Grievous. Also, one thing I didn't explain about New Game Plus versus just regular any percent is in New Game Plus, so at the end of each level, you get a little bit of experience points. And these experience points help you upgrade your abilities, and there's specific abilities that get upgraded in just the regular any percent run. But currently, but because we're doing New Game Plus, all of our abilities are at max upgrade. And so that menuing that gets in the run there is taken out, which, because of the way that the tallying up your experience points works in this game, I'm perfectly fine with that. New Game Plus is actually my favorite category in this run. And so now we've got kind of an auto-scroller. I can't control the enemy spawn rates, but this run is done faster or slower by how fast you kill these enemies. Some of these guys I'm going to use a grapple attack, some of them I'm going to force push. Some of them I might just do a 3-strike combo to knock them off. It really doesn't matter as long as I kill them. And then buzz droids, these are the worst enemies because they can sometimes go really well. Like, they can sometimes be super, super nice. And other times, they're just straight up mean. They only take one hit, but if I don't kill them before they get a chance to roll, they just kind of fling around everywhere. And that becomes super annoying. Another little bit. So that flip is actually got some pretty precise timing to it, because you want to flip into that right as you enter the cutscene, because you'll finish the flip animation while you're in the cutscene. And we're just gonna do a nice little random side flip. And like, if I were to not jump there, I'd have to wait for the cutscene to finish before I get the jump. And so that kind of allows me to get that, like, have that happen in the cutscene, which saves like minute amount of seconds. So we're just gonna front flip here. We're just gonna let Obi-Wan get killed by these grapple droids, and then he's gonna show up perfectly fine in the elevator. So now this is the last little auto-scroller left in this level. It's kind of hefty and long, and we're just going to be standing here fighting enemies. We're going to be fighting these like flying battle droids on this elevator while the elevator continues to descend to our death. And then eventually R2 is going to switch it to make it go up. And then we're going to be at the spot that we need to be, but we have to fight through all these droids in order to do it. So now is a really good time to read off some donations.
All right, sorry about the little pause there. I wanted to double check everything. So right now we're at $346, so doing very, very well. About $50 away, or more than $50 away from getting to that Barney any percent hide and seek. So also wanted to give a shout out to Sarge for donating $2 to us. So thank you very much, Sarge. And that's where we currently stand at the moment. And of course, the good and bad ending bid war for this game. So we're going to do the cutoff at Mustafar.
So yeah, I guess now is kind of a good time to talk a little bit about the differences between the good and bad endings. Theoretically, the bad ending is fast. Well, actually, no, the bad ending is technically faster. But for the New Game Plus run, technically the any percent run ends after you do the level Friendship in Flames, which is the same exact level, but you play as Obi-Wan versus Anakin, which would be the good ending. The good ending happens first, and once you play through the good ending, you unlock the bad ending. But since we're doing New Game Plus, you can unlock. You have both endings unlocked to you already. And so bad ending when you play as Anakin versus Obi-Wan, and then that one goes faster. But technically for a legit run, I would have to play the good ending, which I don't care if about getting this submitted or anything. So that's fine. That's why I gave the donation incentive available. So now we're in the first boss fight. We're in the Count Dooku fight. Normally, you would expect some super intense lightsaber fight, which sometimes that might happen, just depending on RNG, but what I'm going to try and do, and Count Dooku is a fairly inconsistent fight just because of RNG, is I'm going to be using this speed attack, critical attack combo. And normally what the critical attack does is, if I were to use it on a droid with Anakin, is he would actually pick up the droid and then stab him. But because I'm fighting Count Dooku, who has a different amount of health, when I hit with the critical attack, he doesn't pick him up and stab him. He just kind of gets knocked back, but it still does a good chunk of damage. And so I'm going to try and make that combo work. But unfortunately, I'm getting some pretty rough RNG right now. And one thing I want to try and avoid with these is also the auto lock in this game. Like when you see me switch to fight the super battle droids, that's because of the auto lock. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears here. And okay, I missed with my torpedo attack. That's fine. This phase should almost be over. This phase went really rough. That was some pretty bad RNG. This whole fight's not going so well. I've never been chain grabbed like that before. So we're just gonna hopefully finish up this fight pretty quickly. Okay, so there we actually got a little bit of swag, because if we kill him with that critical attack, as you saw, Anakin picked him up and stabbed him. So that kind of gives a little bit of swag for the fight there. Which, in my opinion, is pretty cool, because it's like, oh, yeah, we're so cool, we got you on the exact last input necessary to get the kill. So now we're in the 5th level. This level's called It's Not Over Yet, and that's because even though we killed Count Dooku, it's not over yet.
Is that all you got?
So we've got these super battle droids that we're going to be fighting here and some other droids. What happened here is we got separated from our friends, and I can't seem to get my dash to work, but it worked there. And so, whoa, hello. And so we trying to reunite with them by using some alternate routing through the ship. And so what I did there is there's this thing called what they call a saber cut, and that allows me to cut through that shield panel and then cut the wire for the ray shield and disable it. Not all shields are going to work like that because story and game purposes. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my mission objective was to... bad RNG with the snipers, so we're just going to quick do a force push there. I'm getting really bad RNG with these snipers, holy cow. As the mission tells us to escort R2-D2, but it really is just like, you don't actually have to escort him. We just kind of run. And if anything, R2 would be the one escorting us, because how many times does R2 save people's lives in Star Wars?
There are no cables for this.
And so now we've just got this little bit of auto-scroller while we wait for... while we wait for R2 to open this last shield. And one thing I'm going to try and do is kill all of the super battle droids before the shield goes down. That way, actually I want to try and kill all of the enemies. And that way, by the time the shield goes down, I only have one more group of enemies to kill. And that's going to be the ones that are going to spawn right here. And we're going to throw this droideka to disable his shield, throw this guy over into the wall, and that will then kill them. Nah, Count Gooby, I am not doubting my boy R2. So now we're doing this little, like, cannon section, and what we have to do is we have to shoot these different sections of the ship, and we do that, and each of those sections that were highlighted with the green circle, they take 6 shots to beat them, so that's why I was able to move before it actually activated the next one, allowing me to then start already having a blast heading towards the next section while the other one was still blowing up. And that allows us to finish the level a lot faster. So this level is, we just got captured by General Grievous, and now we have to fight, and then we had a tricksy plan because of R2 being smart. And now we get to fight all of his bodyguards. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a full 3-strike combo, and then I'm going to try to get the critical strike combo like we do with boss fights. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Oh, yes, I just got perfect RNG with that. So sometimes those bodyguards, if I'm not able to get the critical strike combo, sometimes the bodyguards are going to break in half and try and choke me by jumping up on my shoulders. But when they get cut in half like that, if I can just avoid them, then they will eventually die. But that guy decided to not die. Instead, he tried to actually jump and choke me, in which, when he did, I grabbed onto him, but for some reason, because, you know, rushed game, the RNG worked out where that other bodyguard was right on top of me, and I actually grabbed the one that was, like, still fully functional, and killed him instead of the one that was broken.
It's not a contest, just like a droid. The ship's overturned. Stay focused.
So the bodyguards are the worst because they will just juke you like crazy. and there's really nothing you can do about it. You just kind of have to hope and pray you don't get juked.
Watch those electro stats.
And so we're gonna kill. We got a couple more of these bodyguards to. So now we're in the last phase of this level.
This ends now.
Just gonna. Oh no, that didn't work. So we're gonna try and pick him up. Okay, so that one's dead. We've only got 3 more of the bodyguards we have to kill before we end the level. So now I guess I can explain Masterful Mode. Masterful Mode works kind of similar to like a perfect motor kind of thing, where you get the most EXP for your attacks as well as you do the most damage. And so by getting into Masterful Mode, we can kill enemies a lot faster. And the nice thing with Revenge of the Sith versus any of the other games, I'm not sure which one it was that might have been the typo. I wasn't paying attention. But, oh, outdated. That might have been a typo. Okay, then yeah, that was a typo.
Let's see what they're made of.
I'll count that as a typo.
The force
Oh,
is
shoot.
strong here.
So, yeah, Masterful Mode allows you to do a lot of damage, which then allows you to kill things fast. And because we're speedrunners, we like to kill things fast, I guess. So, now we're in investigating Utapau, which this level is, in my opinion, one of the most frustrating. Wait. I don't know if anybody caught that, but that was pretty great. That droid got stuck. So now, these are the super grapple droids. They're annoying. They're even worse than the other grapple droids were. Because these, like, the blue grapple droids will just be there and be a little bit of a pain. These guys can actually override some of my attacks. And that can get really, really frustrating. Actually, it wasn't even the double droid kill. It was the fact that when I had first thrown the one and threw the shield, it just kind of hung there and floated for a while, which was really funny. So, wow, that was a lot of lag.
Clumsy machine.
So, yeah, sometimes it might look like we're dropping frames. That's actually just the lag of the game. Because this game can lag pretty bad.
Switch that event on.
So, I normally don't kill those buzz droids, but,
There we go.
I kill them there. I'm killing them there just specifically for marathon safety.
I suppose I shouldn't expect an easy route.
So here, I actually slightly dash there on purpose, because then I can beat that next cycle,
Destroy that turret.
which then will allow me to come here and have to deal with these super grapple droids, where, like I said, they are just the worst. And here, I normally wouldn't kill all 3 of them, but I think I just might. Actually, I might be able to get this. So we're going to go for this little door melt. Was able to get it pretty good. Actually was able to do it on the 3rd droid. And now we're going to cut this door, which I'm going to take quite a bit of damage from these super battle droids, but it's fine. Because I'm a speedrunner. Is there more lag on the PS? I think there is, which actually would make PS... I think that... I'm not sure if that necessarily makes Xbox faster currently, just because there's one trick that I haven't tested on the Xbox version to know if it can actually work. And also I know that with the OG Xbox, you always have to save after every level. I don't know if you can disable the autosave feature in the game, whereas in the PS2 version, you can disable the autosave just by specifically taking out your memory card. So here we've got these annoying turrets, and honestly, so here we've got these annoying turrets, and honestly, alright, cool. So what you guys just missed is I stole a turret and blew up a shield generator. And I'm gonna pick up this large back to tank here. And then we're gonna get into the crab droid fight. Crab droid is the worst enemy. And the reason for the crab droid being the worst enemy is because RNG can make me lose about a minute. Because sometimes, because what I have to do, at least for this grapple droid, is I just have to sit here and spam this sort of grapple onto him, spam square and triangle, and then wait, and then he's going to do that move, I jump off, and then I rinse and repeat. But sometimes RNG, the droid will just decide, no, we don't want you to grapple. Which, that wasn't RNG, that was actually just me being in a bad position. And as you can see, oh hey, I found a secret! And as you can see, because I failed my grapple, he pushed me all the way back. Which then took me forever to get all the way back here. But still, I found a health surge, so that's kind of cool. And crab droid's dead. So now we're getting into the cavalry arrives, and this level is my least favorite. And the reason for that is because there's one specific trick in here that honestly I think defines the run. What, as of right now, just with the strats that are currently available. And so what we have to do is we have to kill these droids, and that was my version, that's Obi-Wan's version of the swing critical attack. He does this really epic like 2 slashes and then a stab, because Obi-Wan's a lot more fancy than Anakin, but it doesn't do nearly as much damage. And so that fight can take a little bit longer than it would with Anakin. And so now we just have this random unskippable cutscene of clones saving our butt, and we just give them a nod. And now we've got another like auto scroller where we have to go and kill droids. And this part is kind of funny because these super grapple droids, as I call them, are going to be spawning, and we can literally just pick them up and throw them in the side, like throw them over to the side of the level, and they'll just die. They'll just split. It doesn't make any sense as to why this works, but it does. Because theoretically they shouldn't die, but they do. And so the blue outline that you're seeing me there, that's me trying to manipulate the force lock on. A lot of times it doesn't work though. Pick this guy up and throw him. Just keep throwing him to the side while we run and kill these droids. So yeah, you get a nice little like introduction here to the clones. Which, the clones are kind of silly. They've actually got, in my opinion, worse positioning AI programmed into them than the droids.
Take out the biggest droids first. Don't move. Another
And
jump pile.
so we made it through this auto-scroller. Which actually, if I
These must
am
be
right, which sometimes I just don't know if I am. That was the last auto-scroller in the run.
that certainly did the job.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Also, that was super close. That grapple droid almost got us.
Sensors read one cannon disabled. Thank you, sir.
Oh, that was odd and unlucky. See, there's the instance of their attacks kind of overriding. And I'm going to kill this guy just for safety's sake.
Thank you, sir.
And so now we've only got one more fight, one more like small little bit of fighting of more bodyguards, and then we tear like a little like shield generator thing down. Because they're going to put this shield generator up any second now. Okay, there it is. And then we're going to jump down here, fight more of Grievous's bodyguards. Which, theoretically, if I can do this right, it shouldn't take this long. But it's not going so well. RNG is not really cooperating. There we go. Got him once, and then we're going to get him twice. And he's dead.
For battle droids, you've got rather high opinion.
And then this guy, I'm actually just going to throw him into the explosive canister. And we're going to cut these wires, which is going to open up the shield generator door. We're going to kill this guy. I'm going to throw our lightsaber at that turret. Pick up a chair and throw it because reasons. Throw another explosive canister there at that turret. Use our little fancy gymnast slash to kill him. And then use the force to pull everything down. So now we've got this crab droid fight, and this is where the one trick that I was talking about comes in. But this trick solely depends on whether or not the clones behave, and my timing. Because I got it precise, and I got it! I got it first try, that's huge. So as you can see, that blue circle is showing up, and then the health of the crab droid just drains. Don't know why that happens, but with the precise timing, I think what it does is we trick the game into thinking that the crab droid is constantly being damaged, which then allows us to kill that crab droid so fast, saves like 2 minutes of fighting that droid, because then we'd have to do the same rinse and repeat of climbing up, drop it, spamming our attack, climbing down, and doing the same thing. But with that glitch being found, that saves so much time. And I found that trick in like I think in my first run. I thought it was accidental, but then I started being able to recreate it and realized that it saved so much time. So now we're going to be fighting General Grievous, and Grievous is an interesting fight because he's really inconsistent. Sometimes he likes to behave, other times he just doesn't, which is fairly common for these boss fights. And what I want to do is I'm actually going to be using square, square, triangle for my main combo if he blocks me, which it's really hard because I just recently started doing the new strat where if he doesn't block me, I'm actually going to push circle to do my little that attack. I don't know, like my little like critical combo. But because this strat was just recently started being used, because it does more damage and fills up my masterful meter faster. And so now we're in the last phase of the fight where he's going to be using 4 lightsabers, which sometimes the game will just decide, oh hey, we want you to knock him up. That was a really good General Grievous fight. And so yeah, I use the critical attack if he doesn't block, but that strat, I think I just... Oh, apparently you'll never take me alive, and General Grievous doesn't plan to. But that strat, like, just recently got integrated, like, this last week, and so my muscle memory still goes to spam the regular 2-strike kick combo, because that's theoretically more consistent. But, yeah, so... Now we're going to get into like the dark side arc, which, to give you guys a good idea on how this starts, you guys get to see the legendary fight between Anakin and Mace Windu. So we get to move from one lightsaber fight to another. And as you can see, this fight is very, very legendary.
I don't take orders from you.
Which, I gotta really watch myself, because Mace Windu has a lot of really, really, really annoying combos that work out really well, but make him a really tough boss fight. Because if I get caught in one of those combos, that could be close to 10 seconds gone. Oh, that was unfortunate. Oh, why did I do my neutral quick strikes? Ah, no, I got stunned!
Nice try.
Oh, this is really, really unfortunate.
Talk too much.
Okay, this is painful. Okay, that's cool. Because he's a bad mother. But, yeah, so we're in the last phase of Mace Windu.
How dare you try
Oh, and I got the swag kill to hit Masterful mode right at the end. So, that's cool. Why does he have a purple lightsaber? Oh, Mace Windu actually has a purple lightsaber because Samuel L. Jackson said that he will not do... Like, he will not be Mace Windu unless they gave him a purple lightsaber. He wouldn't do it. So, now we're in The Hunt Begins. This is another one of the more frustrating levels, and The Hunt Begins is, we're just gonna go through the Jedi Temple, and kill a bunch of Jedi. And the reason why that this is a really frustrating level, which makes no sense, which doesn't seem like it would be a super frustrating level at the start, but because all you do is pick up the Jedi and throw them into this post and they die. But later on, there's going to be a lot of them, and they're just not going to want to actually do what I want them to, or they're not going to actually cooperate. Especially right here, this section specifically can just be really, really frustrating. So, and the reason for that is there's a Jedi waiting behind this shield, and I've got clones right here. Okay, we're gonna also do our, like, special critical attack. And these clones are supposed to distract the Jedi. But as you can see, he's doing a really bad job at it. So we're just gonna... And also, for some reason... Oh, no. All my clones are dead. So that's cool. So because I'm out of force, I'm gonna do that. And sometimes the Jedi will just oddly cooperate for a while. But sometimes, majority of the time, they don't like to. Oh, nice. That worked out well. The Jedi cut the wire for me. But the Jedi are the most annoying enemies to have to deal with. Because they function with the same capabilities of where they can block your attacks.
You're not allowed in here.
Why do all runs die in the Jedi library? Because the runs like to die with the Jedi Order. Oh, I'm sorry. Too soon.
The clones are here. I'll tear this place apart.
So these guys, for some reason, they're called Jedi Snipers, but the only thing that really make them snipers is they just like to do nothing but sit and throw their lightsabers at you. That clone trooper came in like a good bro. And I'm showing off that combo because I think it just looks really freaking cool. Oh, nice. That little combo pinch there to kill this Jedi. So, it's really hard to actually come up with a solid strat to kill the Jedi. Because sometimes they just don't like to function with actually being solid enemies. Like, they don't cooperate, and I don't want to use my regular, like, speed crit combo, because if I do that, it uses up force. And because force conservation is so important, we don't want to just blow through all of our force. So you're gonna see me do some different techniques, and like I said, Jedi don't like to cooperate because they're annoying. And this guy likes, and yeah, the regular Jedi Knights just like to spam Force Push. And I kind of hope there's a glitch that happens where,
You're no match for a Skywalker. You're no match for a Jedi.
where sometimes the Jedi will die in the middle of that Force Push attack. See, this guy's just being a real pain.
Feel the power of the dark side.
But, so now we got Jedi, there's a glitch where if they die in that attack, in that Force Push attack, it'd be kind of funny to show off, but it's actually super annoying in runs. Because they will sit and spam that attack until they eventually fade out. I consider that a typo. So Jedi Brutes are the worst enemies because you have to kill them by picking them up and using the Force on them. You can't sit and actually have a legit fight with them because you hit them twice and then they're like, "Oh, you hit me? Fine. I'm just going to
Is this what passes for Jedi now?
rather than actually cooperate, be nice, be nice, be nice." Oh no! That sucks. There's actually like a pretty good chance I can die here, especially with the way the Force Lock is behaving. So I threw that canister at that like place right there because normally a turret would spawn, but because I threw that explosive canister right there, it actually kills the turret before it even has a chance to spawn.
Get me by for a while.
And then these guys think they're gonna be all cool and try and come at me, but I'm like, nah, I just throw them off, and they die. So like, there are a lot of like pretty cool small optimizations that happen in this run. So we're just gonna throw that guy into the explosive canister, wait for them both to get up, and then kill him. We're gonna try to kill this guy in a nice way. And by a nice way, I mean we're just gonna throw him into a wall. Throw that explosive canister into that turret, and then 2 more brutes are gonna spawn. And then we're gonna use our little gymnast strike on this guy. Yo, thanks, Diston. So yeah, I guess I'll announce this now. Well, I won't announce this now. I'll wait and announce it after the run. So we're getting close to the end of the level. We've just got this last little like turret section. And what that does is this little turret section is there are these starfighters here that are going to be spawning, and we want to kill them. They're only going to spawn from those 2 locations twice. And then they're going to spawn from these 2 like little elevator spots, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of cycle through here and blow them up. Oh yeah, no, in this game they're clubs, the Jack of Hearts. Unfortunately, lightsabers have to be clubs in this game. The only reason I like this is one of those games where like the more I played it as a speed, I played this game like crazy as a kid, and when I picked it up as a speed game, I realized that this game is not actually as good as it was when I was a kid, which is fine. It actually still ended up being a pretty fun speed game. So now we're in the fight with Sarah and Syndrolic. These are two characters that totally got cut from the movie. But they're going to be put in. Sarah's just a Padawan. Apparently one of Syndrolic's best Padawans. And Syndrolic is a Jedi that's known for being a good, like, really good Jedi trainer. But, you know, you'd think he'd be a good Jedi trainer, but we kill his best pupil pretty quickly. So this level is actually divvied up into two fights. One fight is the Sarah fight, and then we're gonna fight Syndrolic. And Syndrolic casually is one of the, if not the hardest boss fight. Because, especially when you combo it with the fight with Sarah, your health will not reset in between the two fights. And so, casually fighting, if you don't understand this mechanic and know how easy it is to actually fight him, your health can get lowered quite a bit. And because your health doesn't reset, you actually have to fight Syndrolic. You can actually have to fight a full health Syndrolic with like only a quarter of health. And that gets really, really tough. But all in all, that fight went pretty well. We were able to get into masterful mode and kill him pretty easily. And so now we're into the level Attack of the Clones. This is our second to last level with Obi-Wan before we get to Mustafar. And this level, it's called Attack of the Clones, oddly enough. And what we have to do is, the clones are trying to kill us. And so how do we deal with them? We run. And we're going to be sitting here blocking these attacks. And then I'm going to force dash over here, where we're going to cut through this panel and just take every laser blast. We don't care. We're Obi-Wan. We're heckin' Ewan McGregor. And then we're going to run into here, and we have to kill these enemies. And what I'm going to do for the clones is I'm going to use my critical attack. And the reason for that is that will always, always, always kill them in one shot. So we can kill the clones all pretty quickly, and then the droids are going to come in, and because they're droids, they all die pretty quickly. So we can just use just a regular attack. That is if the droids cooperate, but they apparently just like to run away. And then once we kill the droids, these two clone walkers are going to spawn. And we're going to throw these explosive canisters. This will kill one of them. And then we're going to use our critical attack combo, which should usually cancel that charge. But for some reason, it's not working this time. There we go. And even though we aren't doing like the little two-strike combo like we normally would, because that one strike that happens actually triggers the two-strike and backward stab combo. But because that combo doesn't actually happen with these guys, it just does the one strike. And so now we get clone blaze troopers that are spawning. And these enemies, fighting them normally sucks. But because we're speedrunners and we want to kill them fast, even though they've got jetpacks, we're just going to pick them up and throw them over the edge, theoretically. And they should still die if the force lock system cooperates. But the force lock system doesn't want to cooperate, so... And also, if I'm able to get it to where I knock them in the air like that, they just die. It doesn't matter. They don't like backflipping, even though they have supposedly extra health. So that's the first segment of killing Blaze
I need to
Troopers.
use the force here. Just what I needed. I don't think so.
Oh shoot, I didn't want to use the kick! Ah shoot, all my rhythm's all messed up for this walker. Also, so yeah, that's a fun thing. With the clone walkers and their lasers, if I get shot with a laser, I get knocked down. Rather than just getting hit. Did my stream break again? Wait, what? Okay. On screen, everything froze for me. I don't know why, but it did. I apologize for those in chat. I'm trying to refresh my page right now.
Fight your programming.
Oh geez, my computer's really not cooperating because I'm getting audio lag on my end. Okay.
I've spotted the Jedi.
So here we are doing I've spotted the Jedi, and this is just where they're gonna spam rockets at us, but as long as we just keep moving, they won't hit us.
Stand down. That's an order.
And so we're gonna cut the wall panel again, unlocking this console, which has us jump back across. Opening this door. Now, normally you would think to force dash here, but we actually aren't doing that for a specific thing that's coming up here in just a little bit.
I'll take that.
The game didn't want me to move for a second there.
The force is strong.
And what's coming up in just a little bit is the gunship fight. The gunship fight is really hard. There is a way to one-cycle it, but it's a lot of huge risks, and because of the current situation of my health, I can still go for the one-cycle.
Take out that gunship.
So we're going to be sitting here, we're going to throw all of these canisters, and then we're going to spam lightsaber throw. And I don't know if I have enough force for it. I do. Cool. That was actually a flawless gunship fight.
I sense.
So again, that fight's pretty high risk. And my computer is... Wow. Holy...
Shut down that force field.
My computer is not cooperating. The gap between sense and something? LOL. Yeah, they didn't really do a good job at all with their subtitles.
You can do better than that.
Okay, my game froze again for a second there, and I don't know why.
How do I keep getting myself into these situations?
My computer has this really weird thing where if it sits idle, even if I've got a stream running, but if it sits idle for too long, it will just, everything will just decide to not respond, and running Amarak and a game doesn't fix that issue.
Not going anywhere with those cannons
So
firing at me.
that's a current issue I have quite a bit on stream. Okay, as long as it's not causing any issues for you guys, it's fine. That's all I care about. So that's the end of Attack of the Clones. And now we're moving into Assassination on Mustafar. And this is the last regular level of Anakin. And
Your power is insignificant compared to the
so
that felt good.
we're going to be dealing with these Nemoidian enemies.
I grow tired of this.
And I think I just disconnected from the voice chat. So this level is like one of the hardest, if not the hardest. I actually think I've probably said a lot of levels are the hardest levels, but in my mind, this is the hardest level. And the reason for that is these Nemoidian guys, they have stun sticks. And every time I get hit, I get stunned for a solid second.
Enough.
Which really sucks. Because getting stunned loses a lot of time. And I want to try and not get stunned as much as possible. And then you got these Nemoidian brutes, which work very similar to the Jedi brutes. And that's where they don't die unless I throw, like, practically they don't die unless I throw them off something.
You can't stop me.
So here I'm manipulating, well, I'm not manipulating anything, but I'm remembering where everybody spawns. And that got really lucky. I could have been stuck there for a long time because I got hit. Oh, shoot! Yeah, and there's the force. So, yeah, here's where the force lock can get really, really annoying. Because the force lock in itself can even... So some enemies that I don't kill will still be able to be detected with the force lock. And so some... some enemies that I'm going to be leaving and not killing, I can actually sometimes still pick them up. And that can get really, really tough. So I killed all those enemies a lot fast. Like, the game doesn't expect you to kill the enemies this fast. And so we have to kill the turrets in order to unlock that force jump pad. But yeah, so sometimes my force lock, I'll try and force push enemies that are through the door, which I still can do that. My force has that collision detection, which is a little bit of an odd feature, but it can get really frustrating in runs. So we have to cut that power cable. I don't know why, but it's required before we can use this jump pad. So we're just going to pick up these droidicas, throw them off the edge. There's going to be 2 more Nemoidian brutes that are going to show up. We're just going to casually throw them off the edge here, which then allows me to use this jump pad. And then I'm going to force push that guy off because he's a sniper. And sniper blasts, when I get hit, knock me down. And so to avoid getting knocked down while I'm cutting through this door, I just have to force push that guy. I can cut through the door here and jump back in through this level. And so here they're going to be 2 Nemoidian brutes, and I don't have a ledge I can throw them off. So I'm actually just going to be throwing them into each other, and then I'm going to try and use this explosive canister to get a good chunk of damage off. I actually killed one of them that way, which is kind of nice. And then that one's dead. Which 2 more are going to spawn with this open door. I don't know why there were just casually 2 Nemoidian brutes sitting in there, but there were. And so we're going to go ahead, cut this cable, which is going to disable the shield, theoretically hoping I don't get hit by these brutes. They're going to chase me all the way through this hallway. Force push those droids to break them. And then that sniper's gonna spawn. We're just gonna throw him in the lava.
Guns won't help you now. I'm getting closer.
And it's kind of like that lightsaber throw saves minuscule amounts of seconds, but it's always nice to just try and attempt. And so yeah, that's another thing too. Because I entered a cutscene when I open that door, all the enemies just stand there.
I can't get too close.
And that sniper just shot the Nemoidian brute through the wall.
I have to find a way to
So here, I gotta do 2 force pushes there to deal with those Nemoidian brutes right there. Use my saber throw to cut the wire to get to the console here. And this is like the 2 longest like regular levels are this level and then the next level, which is Aftermath in the temple. And that's the last Obi-Wan level before we get to the final fight. And these Nemoidian brutes can be super annoying. And my force is actually not really where I would like it to be, just because there are going to be 2 more brutes that are going to spawn here, and I have to force them both off, which actually I was able to get pretty good. There, these guys are going to be here. There's a couple droidicas. We're just going to toss them into that explosive thing. Throw that guy there. So we're getting close to the Separatist leaders. And there's going to be these Nemoidian guards here. That brute that we're just going to throw him into the wall while we wait for these next set of 3 guys to spawn. And they're dead. So now we just got to kill off the brutes that are going to be in this room. And we do that by throwing them into the wall repeatedly. And we do that because they get a little bit of damage every time they hit the wall. And then each time they hit the wall, if I time it right, I should be able to get a 3-strike combo on them, which kills them pretty quickly. And I didn't even throw that guy into the wall for some reason. This guy also just doesn't want to... There you go, he's dead. So we're going to force push there, and the reason we do that is because there's all those guys that we just have to kill, even though they really, like... don't like 100% really matter. Like, they don't attack you at all. They just run around the room. I'm gonna grab this health here for safety. And then we're just gonna try and destroy this last ship. Oh shoot, I did not want to throw that canister at the guard, but that still happened. So, because of the grip force grasp strats, my force is actually fairly limited for this fight. Plus, every hit with this ship versus the gunship that we saw in the last level, it knocks me down. And so it requires a little bit more of evasion that has to happen before I'm able to... Oh, ow, I jumped right into that. And it's the force lock system being... Oh boy! Okay. My health is really low. I'm gonna play this really, really safe because I just got comboed like crazy off the wall and everything. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time and use my force heal. I can definitely say I've never been comboed like that before. And I'm only really killing the guards because the guards, if they stun me... And, yeah, that's fine. You can recreate my VOD. Oh, the health is a little bit Monka S right now. Hopefully, good RNG. Okay, that's cool. And it's dead. Woo! Okay, so now I'm going to jump back into my dashboard so everybody can see. Hoping this is working. Okay, so we're jumping into Aftermath in the Temple. Can I accept the raid? Is there not? I don't know how that works. But Aftermath in the Temple is the last run with Obi-Wan. And it's, again, this level is the only appearance of Yoda.
You never.
Jedi, take those Jedi down.
And Yoda is gonna be jumping around, killing clones with us.
He's coming through. Kill the Jedi.
Snipers on the upper.
And we're kind of pushing the clones off the cliff because that's just because we're really mean. And I'm actually a little bit lower on
Time for this.
force than I would really like
Watch
to be.
yourself, Master Yoda.
But we're gonna be, when we don't have force, we're gonna be using our critical attack, which I apparently just tried to stab Yoda after he got knocked down by the missile. So we're really good. We're really good Jedi. We try to kill our Grand Master.
Caution, we must.
Kill the Jedi.
Nice little swag backwards stab there. We're just gonna push that guy off the ledge, except he doesn't want to go off the ledge.
He's over here.
Is that all you've got?
Fire. Ah! Plant those charges.
So they're planting the charges. A little, again, another random unskippable cutscene that I have no control over.
Get to the beacon room, we must.
So, yeah. Come up here. We're going to stab this guy to build a little bit more masterful. And I want to try and be masterful right now because there are going to be more blaze troopers that are going to be showing up. And I want to be able to kill them, but I can't seem to be able to get into masterful. Okay, we're in masterful, right as Yoda kills that one.
Stay strong, boys.
So, I'm going to kill as many guys here as I can while I'm in masterful mode.
Come down here and fight.
Lock and load.
And so our masterful ran out. And I just did a really epic force ground pound. Let's heckin' go. So we're separating ourselves from Yoda right now so we can try and distract the clones, throw them off our trail. And so I've got a quick fight. Well, not a quick fight. A lot of this level is moving from one fight to another. And the biggest thing I have to really watch is these rocket guys that are over here. They're the worst because their attacks, they don't necessarily have like more health or anything, but their attacks hurt a lot. And so I'm gonna do a quick like safety force heal here as I go to fight these blaze troopers. Now I'm gonna try to not get wrecked by them, but recently that's not been the case. Oh geez, oh geez.
You're bigger than me. Try harder.
And we're just going to try, and when I have force, again, I'm going to try to throw the guys off the edge. But, because Blaze Troopers do a lot of grappling, that's really hard to actually, like, do properly. So, another nice thing I've done in the past, as you can see I'm doing right now, is I'm at where they're spawning, and I'm trying to push them over the edge. But that doesn't always work. And I don't really like where my health is at right now, especially since they're doing nothing but grapple spamming me.
Fancy armor's no match for skill.
And so, like, once we get past the Mace Windu fight, it's actually really, really, really easy for the, for runs to die, unfortunately. And it really sucks. But there isn't anything you can do. You just kind of have to hope and pray that you don't, that your run doesn't die. And That's the unfortunate thing about the game, is even though there's some pretty cool tricks and boss kills, when it comes to these last levels, they all come down to how well can you fight with the AI RNG.
Discovered we are.
And so I'm in Masterful right now, so I'm going to try and focus my attacks on the Blaze Troopers and the rocket launcher guys, which I think Yoda killed everything, so that's good.
Match for a lightsaber, a blaster.
Yoda came in really clutch, so we're going to work together to push this down.
To the beacon we must go.
I sense something. Everything's locked down.
So we're getting close to the end of this level. We've got... So now, as you guys remembered from The Hunt Begins, everything died. This is where the initial rampage happened. And now we're back at the spot with the horrid chaos. And funny enough, with the comment about runs dying in the library, this is legit the spot where I had a run that was on sub 120 pace die yesterday. So Yoda doesn't care about us. He's just going to jump without telling us. But we're going to use our little force dash / Naruto run to get over to this panel here. We're going to, again, use our little Naruto run. Now, sometimes this Blaze Trooper is super nice and we'll go fight Yoda. Other times, he won't, and we have to deal with him. And there's also this rocket launcher guy that can sometimes be annoying. Actually, I don't think I've ever had that guy be annoying. So this is the last little traversal area, and what we're literally doing is just running down this hallway to this turret, trying to not get blasted. And I almost got blasted there. And so now we're going to come here to these gunships. And this is the last turret section of the game. And I'm on the right side first because the left side gunship is just going to be like, nah. We're going to sit here and shoot at you like 3 times and then we're going to fly away. But this right side guy wants to tango for a while. So we're going to go ahead and kill him. And then we're going to be sitting here at the last gunship. And I got to be really careful because sometimes my gun can overheat. And if my gun overheats, I can't shoot for quite a bit of time. I'm actually going to be a little bit risky here. We're going to do an Ultra Blast, which I don't normally do. Yeah, and it didn't seem to play out too well, but that's okay. And so now we're in the last fight of the level, and that's Clone Assassins. And these guys, I have to time it properly in order to hit them with my lightsaber, or I can just sit and throw them 3 times into each other. There's 2 right off the bat, and I'm going to heal just a little bit for safety. And then there's 4 that show up, which works out kind of nicely because you end up having people that you can just throw at each other pretty nicely as long as the force lock system cooperates, which right now it's really not. And it happens more often than you would think that the force lock system doesn't cooperate. So everybody's dead, and that's going to end this level. So with that, we have now hit the final fights. And with the final fights comes the donation incentive for the good versus bad ending. So I don't know if Taco is available or not right now, since I know he was the host, which if I'm looking at Discord, he was not available. So we're going to go ahead and look for the donation tracker and let you guys know what donation ended up winning. That's the runner's guide. I can find that. That would be wonderful. Okay, I'm going to pull up the host dashboard here for a second. Go over any last second donations before we jump into this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull this up. So, by the looks of things, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, good or bad ending? It looks like that the bad ending was the winner. So we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into that. My dashboard isn't necessarily playing up really well to see. So, bad ending. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the level. And what happens with the bad ending is, you do the last fight between Anakin versus Obi-Wan, but instead, we play as Anakin, which unfortunately you don't get to see the swag, two-strike thing with, Obi-Wan versus Anakin. Instead, we're just back to the normal grapple, which, oddly enough, this fight is a lot better of a fight because the Obi-Wan's AI just works out a lot better because sometimes he doesn't want to cooperate with the fight, which the subtitles are hiding behind my health bar. And, like, so this fight can actually be a little bit more, cool. Other times, it's not. I'm gonna try to not get myself blown up here. In fact, okay, I wanted to throw him into the explosion, and I missed. Just force lock. Okay. Okay.
I'll bet you didn't see that coming.
No, I kind of did, but kind of didn't.
You failed me.
Be
This is
good.
your fault. Back.
Obi-Wan is not being good right now.
There is no escape from the dark side.
Ow.
Give it up. It's over.
Ow. Obi-Wan just casually coming out with his ultimate ability. I would use mine. That uses up a lot of force.
You mean nothing.
And apparently, there we go. I still knocked myself down. Okay, I might just stop trying to go for the strat and just fight him. Because he's not cooperating too well. He's actually kind of adapting. Which, in some ways, I'm impressed that he's adapting to this.
You think you have a chance?
Ow.
I don't think so.
And also, like, he doesn't
Lay down your
want to
sword.
actually grab him.
Your power is insignificant compared to the dark side.
Okay, so we're getting into the last fight, phase of the fight, which I'm super close to getting Masterful, which would be super nice. Okay, cool. So we got Masterful. And I'm not gonna even, I can try a little bit harder to go for the strat now because it overrides his block. Oh, also time is coming up here in just a little bit. And time. So I'll just let you guys enjoy the bad ending. You guys donated for this.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate the power of the dark side. Don't try it!
Excellent work, my apprentice. There are none left to oppose us. The galaxy is ours now. Your new weapon, Lord Vader.
No. The galaxy belongs to me.
And there you have it. That is the bad ending for Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, it takes a lot more different of a turn than you would expect, but Anakin's just like, nah, 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 I don't care about you, Palpatine, you're dead. So yeah, that is Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Now, I actually want to do a little bit of an announcement. So, in recent events, with myself getting ready for this event, which no fault to anybody here except my own, I was in not a very good mindset, and, well, actually, it wasn't even necessarily my mindset. My mindset was actually really good. But my prep for this, I was just not displaying the behavior that I want to on stream, and I haven't every single time that I've tried to run this game. And so, with this being the debut run in any marathon for Revenge of the Sith, I'm actually kind of announcing my retirement from Revenge of the Sith. I'll still be doing a bunch of different speedruns and still going to be speedrunning other games, but when it comes to this game, I'm going to be done. This game gets so frustrating that I can't sit and grind. I really wanted to get the sub 120 for this game, but I can't do it when still be the streamer that I want to. So I'm really glad that I was able to make my last game. I was able to make my last run of this for Distant Star Cares just because I love everything that Distant Star Cares does, and just everything about them. But when it comes to grinding this game for the time that I actually want, I can't do it and be happy with my behavior. Which, funny enough about Battlefront 2, are you talking, what are you talking Battlefront 2? Are you talking, the original Battlefront 2 or the newer one? Because I actually did used to run the original Battlefront. Yeah, I used to run the original Battlefront 2. I don't remember what my PB was, but I got sub 1 hour before I quit. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the bad ending. I don't know if Taco is done driving yet. But that's the end of it from me. Probably just going to cut the stream for a little bit, and then eventually it will come back regular on twitch.tv/DistantStarCares. So if you guys want to continue checking out the marathon, I would head back to that. But if you want to see different kinds of runs from me, go ahead and drop a Twitch follow. I'd really appreciate it. But obviously the focus of the marathon is on Distant Star Cares and all of the awesome work that they're doing there for St. Jude's. So again, thank you guys so much for watching the run, despite, having this wonderful new welcome webcam feed, main game feed, 4:3 layout template. That's all getting shown. So, yeah. That's it for me. Thank you guys again. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of Distant Star Cares.